ser palabra si tus manos se olvidan de volar.
Hey, yeah, hey, it's the boat crew, and we always winning. Hey, go against us, I don't recommend it. Hey, it's the boat crew, best up in the business. It's the boat crew, reppin' for the city. Mackin' on and off the field like Khalil. They hate on us cause we keep it too real. I'm talking smack like Phil Rivers in the field. Oh, you mad again cause we kept it real? Why you mad? Hey, I'm talking smack, I feel like Uncle Dave. Hey, I bring the pain, I feel like Derwin James. I could run and gun, I feel like Herbert down the lane. I feel like LT the way I'm stiff arming these lanes. We just wanna win, we just wanna win, yeah. Ay, we just wanna win, we just wanna win, ay. Putting on for the city, putting on for the city. We just wanna win, we just wanna win, yeah.
Hey, welcome back, everyone. Dave Palais, Josh Palais, Mario Heron, Bolt Crew Podcast, doing a live show on Tuesday. And look, it's May 27th right here as we talk, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't know what the weather's like where you're at. I'm in San Diego. Josh is in Nashville, and Mario's in Washington, D.C. Talking Charger football with you at least twice a week during the offseason. And then, of course, moving forward, we get into 3 times a week. And you sit there and you look at different NFL news, and now you aren't just looking at the Chargers, you're looking at other NFL teams. The reason I will say this, by the way, I know there are other Charger podcasts out there, and we aren't competing with those guys. We really don't care, and we don't watch them. But I know there are people that only focus on the Chargers, and we do. We put the majority of the time on the Chargers. No matter what we say, unless it gets crazy with the rants and everything else that drives us nuts in the world because we're normal people. We talk other teams at times just because everything that happens in the NFL, especially in the AFC, could affect what the Chargers end up doing, whether it means playoffs, whether it means getting finally to a Super Bowl, to winning a Super Bowl, the whole deal. It all revolves around the NFL. And when you say that, all 32 teams matter when you're in this situation. Now, if this was the New Orleans Saints podcast, come on, what are you doing wasting your time with the Buffalo Bills? You're never going to see the Bills. It's not going to be important, but we're in a situation, we're chasing championships and we're close to it. So everything matters in the NFL. So whenever there's an injury or a guy sits out because he won't sign a contract, it matters to this Charger team. And this is one of the reasons why we touch on stuff. So if you run your mouth, if this isn't the show for you, I tell you can say goodbye right now. But if it's the show for you, you guys can go ahead and subscribe and like to the show. We love being here with you. We think we got the best people in our audience already. I see you guys already waiting to go. It's always great to see the familiar names, even the guys that get angry. The angry guys, go ahead. I'm here for it too. I'm as angry as they're going to get. So, hey, you picked the right room.
Let's do a little roundtable. We haven't done a show in a while. I'll go first. I've been at my house for 3 days this entire month of May, and I'm not even in Nashville. My own father doesn't know where I'm at. I'm in Grapevine, Texas, in a lovely hotel room in the middle of nowhere. But no, it's been a good month. It's been fun. And like Dave said, if there's any month to go on vacation, it's May. Because besides Joey Bosa getting hurt, there's not much going on, Mario.
Yeah, close to zero. You know, it's like not even the crazy, hey, let's just throw some takes out there, guys. Aren't even going. They're just too busy finding each other over Angel Reese versus Kalen Clark. And you know what? We haven't dived into that yet. And we can. But I think we need to wait for another day on that. You know, maybe for a little bit better of a day, we can go ahead and jump into that and we can all take a side.
All right, so look, let's get into a couple different things. Number one, I forgot Josh got on an airplane again. I mean, it's crazy how much this guy flies. Like, I don't even know where he's at either.
What's your favorite airline?
Southwest. Like domestic, Southwest by a mile. If anybody has any other opinion, Alaska is the only other answer I'll accept. But Southwest is the best one.
Yeah. All right, Mario, since you threw it out there, what's the best one? I'll tell you, I got an opinion too.
Oh, I know what he's going to say. Okay. Yeah, I agree with his too.
Who do you think I was going to say?
No, I know which one he's going to say. I know which one Dave's going to say.
I do Delta and American. I pop back and forth.
All right, so here we go. We aren't getting paid by any of them. Too bad you guys didn't jump on as sponsors. You could have got a real good plug right here, but you didn't. All right, so for me, my most common flight, which I don't fly a lot, is San Diego to Nashville and back. It's the only one that goes direct. Dude, I hate traveling. Honestly, I just want to be there. I wish it was like Star Trek where I could just beam over. All right. But at the same time, if I got to be on an airplane, for me, it's JetBlue. Man, the seats are big. You have direct TV right in front of you. It's like sitting at home. Have you ever flown JetBlue, Mario?
No, I'm looking it up right now.
Dude, they got the giant seats. They have no
nice.
joke. Direct TV is right in front of your face. You can watch anything. If you have Direct TV, you can watch everything you normally watch, and then and you don't feel cramped. You're a big dude, Mario. Even though you tell everyone you're a small guy, you aren't a small guy. Dude, it's comfortable. So yeah, if you're going from coast to coast, man, JetBlue is the way to go.
Yeah, JetBlue is good. Don't fly American, and I hate American. They'll delay you all the time. It's the worst airline ever. Spirit's probably the worst, but the regular airlines, American, dude. I can't even believe you do that, Mario. You're better than that.
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I have no knowledge. I started with American because I wanted the points, and so it was at the time in DC. It's the easiest to fly with American, so I was building up, and then my buddy texted me because what are you flying for like my wedding? I go, I'm flying American. And he goes, usually I'm, we're the big dog, we're number one, but I got a little Delta action. So I was like, all right, crap, I'm gonna go build up Delta. And then now, Dave, I'm hearing this JetBlue thing. Now I'm gonna get on the JetBlue thing.
Dude, you gotta.
Back and forth. I'm not in a committed relationship here, fellas.
Yeah,
jumping
dude,
back.
I love how everybody has an opinion. Nestor says Josh just got married and can't stay home for more than 3 days. Josh is away so much his neighbor thinks he's in the witness protection program. It's insane.
Dude, my neighbors hate my guts. They're like, "Hey, can you help me pull out my trash cans?" I'm like, "No, can you help me pull out my trash cans?" Like, I'm never home. I'm the worst neighbor of all time. It sucks.
That is too funny. Everybody has an opinion. I will say everyone has the worst flight of all time. And god dang, I'm flying to meet Josh in a couple weeks. As I said, we talk about this trip. We do these baseball trips. So we're headed to Milwaukee on a Friday night. Then we're driving to Chicago the next day for a White Sox Royals game, and then we're driving to Cincinnati. I know, dude. They're one of the 30 teams. Got to see all the teams. No. All right, we've already been to Wrigley, and Wrigley is awesome. It's my favorite, number one. But it's we're hitting the South Side. Then we're driving to Cincinnati. I already saw the old Cincinnati, but now they keep building a new stadium, so now I got to go back to that one, and then driving to Nashville. It's a lot of driving coming up. A lot of what are they called? We're just talking about, I think, on the show the other day.
Ammonia?
Yeah, you sniff them like the boxers when you get knocked out. I'll be doing that.
Smelling salts?
Yeah, the smelling salts. I'll be making sure I stay awake. But after I'm going southwest, so hopefully everything goes smooth. Last time I flew to Chicago, though, Mario, a couple of years ago, dude, it was the worst flight of all time. I thought it was going to be a great one because I was flying with Steve Kerr right after he just won the championship. And him and I were talking in the aisle for a little bit. And I was like, cool, I'm on the plane with Steve Kerr. And then, dude, I keep walking. It's the last row in the corner by the window. It was the only time I thought I was having a panic attack. I thought I was suffocating from the inside out. And the lady next to me was so nice, but I was like, lady, you just got to stop talking. I'm about to strangle you. I can't take it anymore. No words. I just need air. Everybody turn their jets my way. I can't breathe. I'm dying over here. Damn it.
It's not, Chicago's a bad city to fly out of. Like O'Hare, you're in trouble.
It's the worst, dude. And that was the anniversary of our first show. Actually, it's not the anniversary. It was the first show we've ever done. Was that trip when he flew to Chicago? Yeah. And I totally screwed him over. I put him in the corner by the bathroom. That was my fault. I put him on a good Southwest flight this time to Milwaukee.
He did. I told the lady, I go, my son bought me this ticket. She goes, does he even like you? No joke.
Damn it.
All right, we'll get into some football here. There's stuff to talk about. Let's get into the NFL news before we get into Mario's a decent segment. Want to get to concerns Justin Herbert. But first of all, a couple of news and notes for you. One is, and dude, I know we never root for injuries, but all of us in Southern California, nobody's surprised. Joey Bosa is out for the foreseeable future with a pulled calf. And so if he was still on the Chargers, we'd still say we aren't surprised. This is the most Joey Bosa thing of all time. Right. So the OTAs just start for the Buffalo Bills. They're excited to have him. I'm sure he's doing all the PR stuff. You're going to see the best of me. Buffalo's a different football town than Los Angeles. They care about their team. It's a real franchise. All the crap guys say that piss you off when a guy leaves your team. And now Joey Bosa can't compete because he has a pulled calf. So he is out for an entire OTAs. They're hoping he's going to be back in 2 to 3 months and he'll contribute. And something else is going to happen because that's what happens to Joey Bosa. And whether it's to the point if it's real or not, nobody cares unless you're on the field in uniform doing your job. Nobody cares. So he's the boy who cried wolf, or he's a guy that's injury prone. Who knows? But when he has the next injury, it's going to be he was compensating for the calf, and next thing you know, it put strain on his hamstring. So now that one went too. It's always something with Joey. I'm glad he's not in a Charger uniform. As I said, I don't root for injuries, but I can give a rat's ass.
I think he should consider retirement. And Mike G took the words right out of my mouth. 100% should consider retirement. You can't stand up straight. You get hurt waking up out of your bed, getting out of the shower. What is it now? You're getting hurt during this? The season hasn't even started. It's not even close to starting, and you're already hurt. How are you going to last in the frigid weather of Buffalo? You can't even stay healthy inside of SoFi Stadium when it's 70 degrees. How are you supposed to play in Buffalo? And you can even make it past camp. I'm over this. I remember Anthony Davis was rumored to retire a couple years ago, and I was like, good, you should. You're hurting the team. You're never out there. I feel the same way about Joey Bosa. Just retire. You obviously cannot stay healthy.
In these Buffalo Bills seasons, they run a little long. Like it's second round of the playoffs, AFC Championship. Like it's not just a regular season team and out. Like they need you for quite extended of time. Everyone's kind of saw it coming. And also, Bills, it's what you signed up for, right? Like you made this decision to go out and get him. And while, yes, there's an upside to him, the downside is you never know when he's going to be able to play. And if you're willing to do that song and dance, and if you're kind of ready for that, that's fine. But I honestly think, Dave, sometimes they do a disservice to Josh Allen. I look at that roster. I'm like, can you guys like throw this guy a freaking bone? I mean, come on. Like, I don't think they get grilled enough for the lack of talent they sometimes surround him with and go, all right, now go out there and win.
No, Josh Allen's one of those guys. I don't think any of us are going to be surprised when, Josh Allen, basically it's his turn to get injured. Right now, Josh Allen's young. I was just looking at this before the show started. Josh Allen, by the way, is the 5th highest paid guy in the NFL. So he makes $55 million a year. Okay. That money goes a long way when you consider the property that you can get in Buffalo for $55 million, right? $55 million is basically $250 million in New York or LA. So when you talk about, hey, there's a salary cap, I don't know, Josh, if winning's that important to you, maybe you take a little bit less. Maybe you go the old Tom Brady move, So I used to feel bad for Josh Allen when they weren't giving him wide receivers and everything. But then I wonder, is it an ego thing with some of these quarterbacks and some of these even NBA players, where you go, Joel Embiid's the highest paid guy in the NBA of $64 million a year. You sit there and you say, how important is winning to you and how important is it for you to be respected for the position you play? So I'm kind of going the other way on this Josh Allen thing. A very good player, the best player in the league right now. You can make the argument, right? Didn't he just win MVP? He's just one of those where you look at Josh Allen and the Bills and you say, as a fan base, you don't care how much money somebody makes as long as the team is the strongest it possibly could be in the salary cap way and a 53-man roster. And when you have a guy like Josh Allen who's sitting there saying, I'm going to take this big of a chunk, or Dak Prescott taking $60 million a year, it's tough to build the best guys around you. That's why you kind of have to tip your hat to Brady, except in the aspect when Brady did it, they never went and spent the money on players to help Brady. They just kept the money. Robert Kraft didn't go out and re-sign the guys that Brady wanted him to re-sign. This money is safe. Hey, I'll take less if you re-sign these slot receivers. They never re-signed the guys that he wanted them to have or bring in.
I think that's exactly why more players don't do it, because there's no guarantee that they're going to spend the money the way that you want them to spend it. And for Josh Allen buying in Buffalo, buddy, if I was a quarterback of Buffalo Bills, I'm not buying anything. I'm renting a nice little apartment size. Like, I'm just renting during the season. I'm getting my ass out of there. People used to say Jordy Nelson lives in Green Bay during the offseason. I'm like, is that a brag?
Yeah.
Is he sure about that?
Yeah. What? But for Josh Allen, I don't know. I mean, that's a really good question. Do you take less money as a quarterback so you can hope that they'll surround you with better players? Maybe you take less money and you say, hey, I want some input in this money that I gave back to you and who you guys signed. What do you think, Mario?
I think, no, you take what the money you can get now in the moment, because you're just going to be, in 2 years, someone's just going to outdo you again. So why not just get everything you can, right? We look back at the Mahomes deal that he got. At the time we thought like, oh my God, look how insane this contract is. All right, well, look at how insane Dax is now. Look how insane Herbert is now. Like, look how insane Josh Allen's contract is now. These guys, every time, it's contracts up, they just get bigger and bigger and bigger because there's money just keeps getting pumped into the league and into these teams. Why not just go out and get what you can get? That's on the organization to draft well. That's on the organization to sign guys that fit their needs. That's not on you. If you're playing at an MVP level, Dave, and if you are one of the top 3 best players in the league right now, it is on your general manager to go, how can I get you to the big game? How can I do that? What draft picks work? What draft picks don't work? It is not Josh Allen's fault that, they didn't draft a receiver this past year. And you're like, all right, that's a strategy. Just make sure I have him play Superman again. But I don't think that at all. I mean, every year we're going to get another highest paid player. It's every 2 years or so. Jordan Love's getting a contract right now that I bet in a decade we're going to look back and go, holy mackerel. How the hell did he get that? But it was just one of those moments.
The sad thing is, the people who are most loyal to a franchise are the fan base, right? It's the people that in our chat right now. The people in our chat are more loyal to anybody that wears a Charger uniform and gets paid by the Chargers. That's because those guys, if you retire, you get traded as a player. If you're working the front office and you get fired, your loyalty is to the next one. We've talked about this before, how hard it is to change teams. It's almost impossible. Once you grow up, let's say no matter what the team is, it could be the Chargers, Jaguars, Titans. Once that team is in your blood, it's there forever, And if you're like me, you for a lot of times in class, all you're doing is sitting here drawing helmets on your paper. You're drawing the uniform. You're doing stuff to pass the time, and you're thinking the NFL all the time about your favorite team. So it's tough to sit there and go somewhere else. I don't know anyone that really can do it successfully. And so we're all in on where the Chargers are at right now, and we want to see them get better, and other people are that way too. So even though Josh Allen's getting his crazy money, I guarantee you Josh Allen didn't grow up a Bills fan. What's unique about Justin Herbert, he actually grew up a Charger fan. Like, he went to his dream team. That hardly ever happens. That you go, that guy dreamed about being a Charger when he was 10 years old, and here he is, a Charger right now. He loves this team, which is pretty cool. It'd be really awesome to hear, hey, man, you won a Super Bowl rooting for the team that you loved as a kid, and you're the first guy to win a Super Bowl for this team.
Yeah, he needs to win a playoff game first before he wins the Super Bowl.
We need one of those.
Yeah. What do you think about the perception of Justin Herbert this offseason? Has he been getting as much hate as you thought he'd get, less hate than you thought he'd get, just about the same amount of hate you thought he would get, Mario?
I feel like he's going under the radar.
100%.
Yeah, like no one's talking about it. I think the focus more is on like a Lamar Jackson right now. Like, that's kind of it. I think Aaron Rodgers has helped that with his bull crap that he always does all the time. I really do think, Dave, that Herbert, it's a name that's getting forgotten about. The Bengals in their situation kind of helps it too. What they're kind of going to do. The Browns getting every quarterback, signing all of them on the planet, should or falling. Like, there's so many different headlines. I think Justin Herbert's just probably, sitting in some dark room throwing a football, and that's okay. The only time they get spotlight if Harbaugh goes up in a press conference and says something weird and drinks a glass of milk.
Dude, I don't know if it's a good thing that he's under the radar. I say no. You know what? If you're under the radar and people aren't talking about you, it means people don't think a lot about you. And I don't mean that. It means meaning think about you. Like, hey, I wonder what Justin Herbert's doing. Not that. What I mean is Justin Herbert relevant? Now, most people will tell you, right? We all agree if Justin Herbert's one of the top quarterbacks in this league. Even people who aren't fans of the Chargers that really follow the Chargers know who Justin Herbert is. My point is, he doesn't get close to any publicity or the talk of quarterbacks during the offseason. You've heard so much about Joe Burrow because he's been to a Super Bowl, because he's won playoff games, as Josh just mentioned a second ago. Dude, you got to win playoff games. You got to be relevant. I mean, there's either the Chargers PR staff does a terrible job promoting him, or Justin Herbert doesn't want to be promoted. But we know one thing about Justin. He doesn't publicly say anything about the team as far as, I need this. And when things aren't working, it's okay to get loud. The guys, how old's Justin Herbert right now off the top of your head? Is he 26? How old do you guys understand? No, I didn't have a look. 26 years old. Dude, you're closer to 30 than you are 20. You're an NFL veteran. It's okay to open up your freaking mouth. All right. We've been saying this for a number of years on this show. Dude, if you don't say anything, then it's going to be status quo. Until you start complaining about some of the things you don't like or things that would make you better, dude, it starts to be, it's on you. As we say all the time, man, don't be one of those people satisfied for shit sandwiches. And that's where it feels sometimes. Open your mouth.
I think the difference between Justin Herbert and every other quarterback typically is he doesn't talk. And so I think every offseason he's going to go under the radar, whether it's a good, like he did well, or he did bad, like last season in the playoffs. People just aren't going to talk about him because he's not entertaining. Out of 32 starting quarterbacks in the league, he might be number 32 in terms of like entertaining and his personality. He doesn't want to be in the spotlight. I don't think it has anything to do with the Chargers PR. He just does not want to be that guy. I don't know what to say. If you win, it's fine, right? You're like, oh, he doesn't talk much. He wins. But if you don't win, it's kind of like, dude, open up your mouth. Like Dave said, like say something. Let us know that you're here. Let us know that you care. I don't think anybody on the show thinks that Justin Herbert doesn't care. But when you never talk and you don't win the playoffs, it's like, what's going on here? That's why he's not on ESPN or any of these other channels, people talking about him. You're never going to get a soundbite from Justin Herbert. The only sound bites you're ever going to get are from Jim Harbaugh. And when you have Phillip Rivers as a quarterback, he at least talked trash, right? Phillip Rivers was never going to put the Chargers in a bad light, but he would give you like sound bites and things that he'd do during the games that made him entertaining and interesting. Justin Herbert's just not that guy.
Yeah.
That's simply it.
By the way, Mario, you looked it up. He's 27 for anyone that wants to sit there and get mad about that. He's 27 years old. I mean, but he's complicit, 27.
Here's my thing on Herbert. It's just not in his DNA. You mentioned, Josh. It's just not in his blood to do a lot of media, to do a lot of interviews, to want to go on ESPN, Pat McAfee, to do a media tour. That's just not him. And I think one of the brilliant things and one of the great things about having Harbaugh as a head coach is Harbaugh is perfect for that. But the entertainment factor for the Los Angeles Chargers is not your QB. It's your head coach. That's why people tune in. It's they want to see, can Harbaugh do it? Does he still got it? What's he going to say after the game? What's he going to say before the game? What the hell is he going to say in the game? Right? Like that's what pulls you to him.
I want to ask you a question directly because of what you just said. Does Jim Harbaugh talk about Justin Herbert in the way he does, like he wants to make love to him all the time because he won't speak about himself? Is that why he does that? Do you think that's a big reason why he talks about Justin Herbert like that?
No, I just think that's Harbaugh's MO. Like I just think that's what he does. Even back to Niners days, when any reporter would ask about any of his guys, he did an insanely overhype up. He always did that. And through, social media, through the media, he will always put his players up and never put them down. He'll never do, Dave, like when JJ Redick this past year, I can't remember who the Lakers lost to, but he was like, yeah, our efforts sucked. We were terrible tonight. That's not what Harbaugh would ever do through the media. He would just address it with his team. Jim's just a pure hype up man in that factor. And, even if you throw 4 picks in one game, like Harbaugh's going to be there saying, yeah, but that arm, man, thing's a rifle.
You can have both. You know what I'm saying? And don't the Chiefs have both? Don't you have a quarterback that has a personality and a head coach that has a personality? I'm not saying fake it. I'm not saying Justin Herbert needs to be in State Farm commercials. But good God, when one of the topics every year is how's Justin Herbert going to wear his hair this year is a topic, it drives me nuts. I mean, that's where we're at. What about Justin Herbert's haircut of choice for the fall of 2025? I mean, God dang, let's win a playoff game like Josh said, 10 minutes ago. Let's win a playoff game. Let's move the ball downfield. Look, we already know that this team doesn't have the most exciting offensive plan. They have a safe offense. They're going to run the ball. They're going to go with tight ends. They're going to try and physically beat you and then surprise you with a deep pass, right? We all know that's going to work. We're going to watch QJ drop that deep pass when that opportunity is there. That's where it's at. That's what we've seen over and over again. Now, unless you're sitting there getting in the end zone and you become a feared offense and Justin Herbert stays healthy and this team starts to win playoff games, it's going to be the same damn thing every year. But then he's going to get closer to 30 and then he's going to get closer to 35. And we're like, at what point? And if he finally figures it out at 34, 35, that, you know what, my life and my team could have been a lot different if I would have demanded things when I saw things going wrong, maybe he would look back at his career and say, you know what, we could have fixed this a long time ago. And I'm speaking right now for Charger fans. We want you to fix it now. See something, say something, Justin.
What's Justin Herbert's biggest moment so far in his career?
It's a great question.
Was it the Raider game that the team totally let him down in the last game of the season when he was balling? Is that the best moment of his career up to this point?
I went straight to his rookie year just because of how out of nowhere it was.
When they tried to kill Tyrod Taylor and he stepped in?
Yeah, that.
The question that we asked a second ago about what's, Justin Herbert doesn't talk, and people were saying when he spiked the ball and he yelled at, Bradley Bozeman. I'm like, do you ever watch a Colts game with Peyton Manning? He would do that every 2 drives. And you're going to talk about the one time that Justin Herbert did that. That's not a moment for Justin Herbert. He's just not the guy that's going to yell. And guess what? When I was at Alabama and I was with Jalen Hurts, he was kind of the same exact person. You could ask Dave. Dave met him when he was 18 years old. There was nothing at Jalen Hurts ever. But if you win, people kind of just get off your back. That's just the way it is.
No,
I think
winning solves everything.
Winning solves everything. I think Justin also benefits where I think this market that he's in for like Los Angeles Chargers is like the perfect market for him because he doesn't have to do a bunch of stuff, right? Like on a bad game, he's not facing a New York media, Boston media, Chicago media. I'd even throw those crazy cousins in Wisconsin in that conversation as well. Where like they're just going to throw you to the fire. I think Justin, it's, hey, this team, it gets media coverage, but you don't have, what's the station in LA? What's the radio station? What's the local beat guys? It's a weird, coverage of a team. And I think that kind of benefits kind of his personality, almost helps it out in the way where you don't, have to always be in the spotlight. And, he can just do his commercials that he wants and make his money and can get his competitive drive still going and hopefully try to win a title.
Dude, Los Angeles is the second biggest media market. Okay. The Chargers are in the second biggest media market. And you guys completely deflated me by saying, what's Justin's biggest moment? His signature moment. And he doesn't have one. He's been in this league a long time. He doesn't have one, and it's insane to me that you can go this far in the biggest media market, second biggest media market, and say that, and I'll bring it up because Mario's obviously spent a lot of time in Chicago. Chicago's a big media market too. Not even close to the size of LA, by the way. Okay. But Chicago's a big media market. If Justin Herbert played for the Bears with the same resume, what would the talk be on sports radio? What would the talk be among the fan base?
Yeah.
I mean, I think you guys are both. I think you guys are both right and you're both wrong because he is in the second biggest media market, but he's on the second biggest team in terms of third biggest team in LA in terms of engagement. You got the Rams, you got the Raiders, and then you have the Chargers. They're a second-rate team in LA compared to the other teams that have more fans.
And even on top of that, throw in teams in other sports. Like you fall short to the Dodgers, you're gonna fall short to the Lakers. Hell, like you're competing with the Clips. Like, let's be honest.
That's frustrating. Things have to change. I mean, we all believe things are going in the right direction. We want to see that signature moment. I hate to tell you, if we're doing the show a year from now and he only has one playoff win, that's not enough. Like this team right here, the way it's built, if this team doesn't make it to the AFC Championship game, dude, here we are on May 27th. I'll tell you the season was a disappointment.
All right. How do we fix let's do Justin Herbert's PR, all three of us. How do we fix this? I got the first plan of attack.
Go ahead.
You got to find a Kardashian that's single. Which one out there is single right now?
Dude, they all could be single for the right publicity.
What about Rob?
Okay.
How's he doing?
Rob's hiding.
Rob's hiding. Rob's not available.
Become friends with Rob. Yeah, I think we can get to Rob.
We can get to Rob. How would you fix it if you're his PR guy? You think sex scandal? What should we do to fix this?
We kind of do need a scan. Ooh, you know what we do?
What?
Let's pair him up with like Caitlin Clark's taken.
No.
Boyfriend goes to Butler. That'd be tough.
Angel Reese is available though.
Angel Reese is available. Actually, no, we gotta stay LA based, so it's gotta be a Kardashian. Oh, you know what we do? All right,
Darren Waller's ex-wife. She's in LA now, right? Kelsey Plum.
Yes, that could be it. Oh, dude, let's just start. Timothy Chalamet, he's had his moment, but he's in Indy right now. And I'm not going to lie to you. Lisa and Kurt Herron could, mess him up a little bit because they're both in the same house tonight for Knicks versus Pacers. So this is what we're going to do. Kurt's going to, take one for the team. And he's going to size him up a little bit. And then after that, Kendall, Kylie, I don't really know which one it is, but she's going to go, you're not really saving the world in Dune. You don't really do that in real life. So she's going to dump him. Then Herbert slides in on Kylie or Kendall. Don't really know which one it is. Thank you, Kylie. And he slides in, starts dating Kylie, and then now we're good.
I think Kylie Jenner would fix everything for the Chargers.
Yeah.
100%.
We just did it.
What do you think, Dave?
I don't know if Justin likes publicity the more I think about it. Like, honestly, do you see Justin?
Reggie Bush didn't either.
But you know what? Reggie Bush didn't have a choice. I mean, Reggie Bush was so famous in high school and then USC. My point is, to be seen, you go to Laker games. You don't see Justin Herbert sitting front row at Laker games. You know, god dang, right?
Yeah.
You're seeing crappy New York Giants quarterbacks sitting front row at Knicks games, but at the same time, you don't see Justin Herbert even doing anything.
Somebody
Damn.
said you got to get him in front of some big mega YouTubers like Mr. Beast. Dude, that's easy. I don't know why more guys don't do that. You don't have to do anything. Just get on their channel. Build up a
True.
brand. Come on, Justin. What are we doing?
Go on Theo Von's podcast.
Come visit right here. Here's an open invite for Justin.
Yeah,
He's
come on
available.
here.
Come visit. I don't know
Try
what
to
to
fit
tell
him
you.
in.
Do
Wow,
celebrity
some of the comments
boxing.
in the chat are funny.
What do you say?
Some of the comments in the chat are very funny.
We can't even read those.
I know.
Yeah, you
Anyway, hey, one thing I want to bring up as well, because we see this in the NFL. It's an NFL problem. All right. And it's funny, it goes right back to the Bills again. James Cook refusing to participate in OTAs. All right. Here's another running back. It's always the running backs. He doesn't want to participate because he's in the last year of a rookie contract. Okay. We saw this before with Josh Jacobs. We've seen this over and over. It happens every summer where you don't have guys that live up to their contracts. I don't understand this at all. Like, what happened to your word? I'm putting my name on this paper because I agreed to sit there and be part of this team for this amount of money. But to sit there and say I'm not going to be involved to follow what my contract is and help the team win, I don't get it. And I know there's a rule in the NFL. It's unwritten with the players. You never talk about another guy's money. But, man, the Bills are having the same kind of conversation we're having. Like, this is the year. This is a year you can win the Super Bowl. And for James Cook or anyone else, the NFL has to figure out a way to penalize guys more for not basically playing out their contracts. It's insane to me. I just don't get why this goes on every single year. And eventually, guess what? It could happen to us too. If Hampton turns out to be the player we hope he's going to be, we might be in the same situation too down the road. The NFL has to figure a way to fix this thing.
NFL has problems with their contracts, worse than any other sport, which makes no sense. Who's running this, right? It's the NFLPA. These guys suck. They're the worst organization of all time. The Major League Baseball hasn't figured out. The NBA hasn't figured out, but the NFL cannot figure it out. Time and time again, you see this type of crap. I don't get it at all.
just every time I think of sitting out, I don't know why I still think of when Jay Crowder sat out because he requested a trade. I was like, buddy, who do you think you are? Like some guy on the bench.
That's always the way it is. But I'm saying anyone tries that in their job, dude, I'm not showing up. I'm not showing up till I get more money. It's one of those things that blows me away. And I understand he's very good at what he does. James Cook's one of the better players in the league. I got it. But dude, there's a process. That's why the contracts exist for this amount of time. You signed it. You signed it because you wanted to be in the league.
This is what they should do to fix the situation. They say, okay, James, or any other player that wants to get more money because they think they deserve it. If you perform less than these numbers, and this is how they do it in real business, actually. If you perform less than these numbers, we are going to pay you less. That's exactly how it works in the world of business where I'm at in my job. If you don't meet these numbers or these expectations, you're going to get paid less. So it goes both ways. Sign this contract. Oh, you don't want to sign the contract?
Mr. Deeds had it all figured out. So if you have a bad year, can I pay you less? Hell no. I mean, no.
It's a great scene. All right, Mario, you almost died, right?
Oh,
That's a good transition.
That's a great transition. I was literally this time last week. I woke up with like a small fever, and I was like, "It's a tough one. I'll try to like, work it out, do some work, and like see if I can just sweat this puppy out." I was like, and next thing you know, I'm starting to feel tired. So I was like, okay. After I finish up, like send out the rundown for the day, I'm just gonna like take some Tylenol, take a nap, wake up before I have to go do a show, go do the show, be fine. So dude, I take this nap and I wake up and I feel like I'm fantastic for flame on. Like that's how hot I feel. And I go to take my temperature, and the thing when it's like insanely high, I didn't know this, vibrates and then like goes like freaking nuts. So I did it. And then it starts vibrating and like bright red. It's insane. It was like 103.4. And And I was just like, oh, that's not the best. So I go to the doctor, and this is where like when I get sick, I'm pissed off. Like, I'm not a good person anymore. I'm just mad. So I go to this urgent care, and I walk in there, and they go, "What's wrong?" I was like, "Yeah, I just clocked in at 103 for a fever, so I figured I should come to the doctor." Go to the doctor, and this is when I was about to go ballistic. Our doctors are fantastic. I love doctors. Have doctors in my family, whatever. They're great. Love you. But here's my thing. When you have a nurse that comes in and you ask me what's wrong, and I run through everything, and we have this whole conversation, and then they go, all right, thank you. We got everything. The doctor's going to come in, in 5 minutes. It's like, great. Thank you. Feel sick. I just want to go to bed. I'm like saving up energy so I just don't like pass out in there from being tired. Then the doctor walks in and goes, so tell me what's wrong. And I go, I mean, she was writing something damn down. Like, did we just not read it? Like, what's going on here? Why do I have to go through this whole thing? And like, so I answered the first question, and I was just like, fever, throat hurts. Like, we did this. And then I was like, thought that would be it. And then she hits me with like 3 more questions that are the exact same as a nurse. And I just go, I'm not trying to be rude, ma'am, but I swear I just did this. Was there no like handoff? Like, what are we doing here? And I was like, let's just get to the test. Like, test me out, whatever. And so and then I apologized. I didn't mean that like meanly. This is nuts. And then they're like, well, we can't do a lot for you. So just if you have, if it gets bad again, go to the hospital. The next day.
Throw the number out, dude. Throw the number of the fever. How high did it get?
I went over 104.
Jesus
That's
Christ,
insane, dude.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Do you understand that you're almost fried your brain? Like,
yeah,
it's crazy high.
Crazy high.
And what did you do? And what did you do?
They said
you went home and said, screw it. We'll see what it's like tomorrow.
They said
you died in your sleep.
Okay, let me finish. They said, if that happens, you gotta go to the hospital. So I was like, all right. So I clocking at the 104, and I was like, oh God, great. So I get in the car to like drive to the hospital, and I just like about halfway there, I was just like, you know what? I want to go to the freaking hospital, have 5 different people talk to me, and I have to do the same damn rundown. I'm sweating bad. I was like, I'm just gonna go home, pop a bunch of Tylenol, and I'm just gonna sweat this thing out.
Hope your mom's listening.
And then I circled, and then that's what I did. I just circled back.
That's how you wake up dead. Good job. What are you doing?
Dead.
What are you doing?
I broke the fever though. I broke it.
Dude, it was luck. You luck this time. Dude, you scare me being a potential father. You gonna let your kid do the same thing? Or do you have taken your kid to the doctor?
Dude, you could have taken my shirt when I broke it and gone like that, and sweat would have came out. It was disgusting.
Yeah, that's a crazy number, dude. That's a crazy number. If your mom's listening right now, she's freaking
like
out.
Michigan. Yeah, your mom's freaking out for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
But seriously though, like next time I'm at the doctor, give you the rundown first. I shouldn't have to do that again.
Dude, you're at their mercy. You don't have a choice. They're the only ones that can help you. Do you understand? You don't have a choice.
Though. I don't know why I did, but
just tell the doctor, read the notes. I'm not going to repeat my story. Read the notes.
Yeah.
That's it. But to do a U-turn and go back home, you lucked out.
You shouldn't even be driving at 104. Fucking kill somebody else on the road.
Dude, I was
bad decisions.
I was literally like walking. So like the basement in my parents' house, it's insanely cold. And I was just walking around butt naked, still sweating.
Oh, that's
like,
great.
dude, the neighbors.
Did they know this?
Parents,
or did they know this?
I mean, they don't go downstairs, but like
Thank
the
God.
neighbors, there's windows everywhere, and the neighbors were seeing the full show. So I hope they enjoyed their Memorial Day weekend.
Hey, your neighbor. When's Mario coming back into town? Asking your mom. I enjoyed it. Take it easy, Gladys. Jeez.
Relax there, John.
Oh my God. How was your week, Josh? You're how many different time zones?
Just a lot of traveling. I got into it with AAA, the insurance company. I'm not going to get into that though, because I just get pissed off. We'll end with a Dave rant. How about we just go to the chatter here, and then we'll go over to Dave rant and we'll finish it up. How does that sound?
Okay.
That works.
All right. First one comes from AK 499. Says, listen up, soldiers. Stop making excuses about our tough schedule. This team is ready to compete for a Super Bowl title. Uncle Dave, what do you think about that?
That's good. That was good. Dude, I'm with you. The schedule's a schedule. What do you do? Not going to show up because you're thinking this game's too tough? You got to go through the best, and that's it. Hopefully they're looking at us going, hey, man, we got the Chargers this year. That's not a game we want to play. I'm with AK on this. I'm not a schedule fearful guy. That's not. I'd say you want everybody head on. Hopefully iron sharpens iron, and you're ready for the postseason.
Yeah, we got a bad division we play this year in the AFC South, and you have a good division, the NFC North. So there you go, right down the middle.
And also, a lot of schedules become easy and become harder throughout the year. You know, teams fell out. Teams, get the injury bug. Things change.
All right, AK 499 says the Broncos last season was the best. I see Herbert. I know my quarterback takes lots of heat, but let's be honest. How many Super Bowls does Allen Lamar and they played against better teams? Okay, well, dude, just because they don't have Super Bowls, AK, doesn't mean it's okay for Justin Herbert not to have a Super Bowl too. I mean, for Christ's sake, Joe Flacco has a Super Bowl. Who'd you rather have, Joe Flacco or Justin Herbert?
You know, it's interesting, though. When you look at the fan bases, I'll throw three of them at you since he brings it up. If you're the Ravens right now getting ready for the season, or the Bills, or the Chargers, which fan base has the biggest point of concern of when's our quarterback going to take the next step? Because as far as the Ravens have gotten, and as far as the Bills have gotten, right? The Bills beat Patrick Mahomes every year during the regular season. Can't beat him in the postseason. I mean, at what point are you just – and you aren't throwing your quarterbacks away. That's not what I'm saying. But how frustrated are you? Like, God, are we ever going to get over the hump? We can see where we need to be from here. Like, Justin's not even close to over the hill. But my point is all three fan bases are irritated. Those two fan bases, to me, have a much bigger argument to be more upset than us.
Every other quarterback that has been compared to Justin Herbert in the top tier of quarterbacks has either been to a Super Bowl or won the MVP. Justin Herbert has done neither. I couldn't care less about the MVP. Just get to the Super Bowl and then win the game.
I think the Ravens are in like the most interesting spot where the window is kind of closing fast on them.
Is it?
It's like I don't
know. I don't know. I mean, it seems like the Ravens are going to be the Ravens. Like, they don't, you keep doing the same thing over and over again. That's what they're doing. It's insanity. The same kind of C-average receivers that they bring in. Lamar Jackson wins all these awards all the time. Everyone talks about how great Lamar is. This year's going to be different, and it's the same every year. Like, I don't know. Are the Ravens close to the window closing, or we're just going to see the same thing all the time?
I think,
yeah. How would you rank the rosters? The Bills, Ravens, and Chargers.
Ravens have the best roster, I think.
Yeah, I'd say Ravens, Bills, Chargers. Maybe Chargers, Bills are pretty close, actually.
I'd say Ravens, Chargers, Bills. I don't think that Bills roster is that good at all.
Guys, got to take some steps, that's for sure.
All right. Mighty 199 says Mike G wears yellow pants.
Oh, those are fighting words, Mike.
Yeah. Started a beef.
Mike, I'd get right back in there for $49.99 and say what you think.
I like to picture that Mike G just like we start the show and he just sits down his laptop like a cup of coffee, like cracks his fingers.
Yeah, he's like, it's
on. Puts on war paint.
Oh my gosh. That's too damn funny. Yeah, I don't know. By the way, when are we coming back for the second show this week?
Friday.
Okay, 1 o'clock Pacific time, or are we going different time?
We can do that.
We can.
Just trying to let the audience. It's Mario. It's your call, isn't it? Aren't you the one holding it up?
It's my fault.
Oh, it's your
totally
fault.
My fault. Yeah,
Sorry, Mario.
You know what, Josh? Next time that it's Dave's fault, let's make sure everyone knows it's Dave's fault.
I actually got to go somewhere for it to be my fault. No, it's for me. It was baseball.
Every time.
I'm out.
Yeah. Good job. That's good.
Yep.
All right, what's your rent?
Season ended on Saturday, so there's no more baseball conflicts outside of when Josh and I. Actually, I don't think we're going to miss a show even when you and I make that trip, Josh.
We're not.
Yeah,
nope.
We'll be fine.
You are going to miss the first. Yeah, you are going to miss the first Dodger Padre game of the year, though.
That's true. I saw that already. It's worth it. All right, I got it. Someone wrote in the chat to me, Dave, going see the Dodgers. Which one should I go to? Go to if you catch Dodgers Yankees at Dodger Stadium coming up, go see that. It's probably going to cost you a ton, but best teams in the history of the sport going at it at Dodger Stadium, rematch of the World Series. If you can see one of those, it's an awesome experience.
You have a rant?
Absolutely. I do have a rant. All right, it's the goddamn spelling bee. All right, this National Spelling Bee crap. When I see highlights of the spelling bee, I want to put an ice pick in my temple. I can't stand it. The fact that the spelling bee still exists is insane. Okay, the spelling bee has gone the way of the newspaper. There's nothing in today's paper that happened today. The newspaper is ridiculous. If you still rely on the newspaper for news, you're insane. Okay, when I walk the neighborhood at 6 o'clock in the morning and there's one house that gets the newspaper, I'm like, look, a dinosaur. It's insane that anyone would even subscribe to a newspaper. The fact that you listen to a radio, to me, is insane. Podcasting is a way to go. Josh called this thing 10 years ago. He was absolutely right. The radio is an absolute joke. I don't understand it. At the same time, the National Spelling Bee is worse than both of them. The idea that you would train your poor kid to come back from school and sit there and go through the dictionary and what words he can spell is insane. Everybody has access on the phone. Guess what? We're all great spellers now, right? Even AK has figured this out. Okay, yeah. We're all great spellers now. So what are we doing here? And what are you doing to today's youth? You're driving the kids crazy. You know, straight out. I want someone to ask a question in the spelling bee. Spell third base. Can you use it in a sentence? You will never get to third base because you're in front of us at a spelling bee right now. Spell laid. You are never going to get laid because you're at a spelling bee right now. What are we doing to these kids? Let's train these kids to be grown adults. Have some game when they go to the bar. You got no chance. It's insane. These goddamn spelling bees have to stop. Stop putting them on TV and stop sitting there doing coverage of the breakdown of the brackets of the spelling bees and how we're going to get to the top kids. It's the most boring thing ever of all time. All right. But to sit there and go through a spelling bee contest is insane. This isn't 1952, people. Wake up. We all can spell. Your phone fixes it for you. It's the biggest goddamn waste of time, and parents should be ashamed of themselves by giving kids homework of saying, hey, my kid's a national spelling bee champion. Who gives a rat's ass? Nobody would know because none of us have spelling mistakes now that we have phones. We all have smartphones. Come on. Let's go. Let's look out for today's youth. Damn it. That's all I got. Bothers me a lot. Every year it bothers me.
Where did you see a spelling bee?
Dude, locally, because it was some kid in my community. All of a sudden has a chance to go to the national spelling bee. So we're doing the brackets. I'm like, we're doing brackets? I know what the kid in Indianapolis is doing. We might line up with him. Oh, it's going to be awesome. You know what happens when you win the spelling bee? You're going to go celebrate with your parents. There's no team aspect to this. It's not cool. You aren't going to some cool pizza restaurant with Miss Pac-Man in the corner where you're going to get some quarters, have a good time with your friends. It's you and your parents at the Olive Garden. It's a goddamn embarrassing. What a waste of time. And guess what? Nobody wants to hear your parents brag how you can spell. Disappointing. Stay away from that kid. That's what you tell your kids, Josh, when you have them. Stay away from that kid. That kid's weird. Socially weird.
All right. Mighty 199 says, Dave, you are my type of guy. Is he still your type of guy after that?
Oh, Marlon.
I appreciate it.
That
because that makes sense. What I say makes goddamn sense. And here's another one. All right. Now you guys got me going. I got upset about something recently. I'm not going to get into why I got upset. Of course, I was walking the dog and it was a neighbor. And the guy turned to the person he was with and he go across the street. Can you believe the balls on that guy? What the hell is that supposed to mean? What? What the hell, dude? Like, the nerve of that guy, fine. I've heard the expression a million times. I just think it's weird for someone to say, can you believe the balls on that guy? That is strange as hell to say to someone across the street. And talking about me while I'm standing, I can hear you, Jim. I can hear you. Okay. Can you believe the fist on that guy when he punched me right in the mouth?
Oh, man.
Anyway.
I didn't know what to say.
By the way, my wife hates these rants, by the way. She hates
I love them.
I wish she wouldn't get
and we all love them.
She probably is like, she like looks at you, screams out, this is why you should go to therapy. You're like, no, not till you give me a
I get thrown out by the therapist. She just write on her paper, you know, I'd be on the couch and she's writing on the yellow pad, psycho. That's what she'd be writing.
You're not worse than Tony Soprano, and Jennifer Melfi kept him.
Yeah. I was going to say we should do a poll of who's be better in therapy, Dave Palais or Tony Soprano.
She gave up on him in the end. She thought he was too dangerous. He's a psychopath.
No.
Yeah.
You just never had the makings of a varsity athlete.
It's one of my favorite sequences. I laugh every time I see it. Oh my God.
It's
It makes
so
me laugh
good.
every time. Never the makings of varsity athlete. And he loses his mind at the table.
Small
I
Oh.
hands.
love it.
Yes. Oh my god. Dude, that's what speaking of that, it's like my brother, that the one I usually like wrestle and fight. We did it this weekend. I was kind of on the IR, but just speaking of just like varsity athletes, he has a kid now and she's adorable, but she's like really big for her size. And just very randomly, someone's like, "Oh my god, like she's so cute," and he goes, "Strong build, strong athletic." He just goes into like breaking down. He's like, "Good pause. You know, I think she could like throw something pretty well." I was like, "Yeah, she's not even a year. She's just like get out measurements." I was like, "I got a kid."
All right. We're back on Friday, 1:00.
Yep.
Friday, we're back at 1:00. Feel better, Mario. Good God. You and your fever. It's amazing. It's the craziest story ever. All right.
There's me.
And she goes, "Your poor wife." Yeah, okay, I got it. All right. You know how many times my wife says to me, and people say this a lot, "What's wrong with you?" A lot. I hate that question, by the way. Like, why do you guys ask me that question? There's a lot. There's a lot. Okay. We all heard it. You guys know. All right. We'll be back Friday, 1:00. I appreciate everyone joining us, talking more Charger news. Let's see if something crazy happens in the NFL. Good God. This is where everybody goes to sleep. All right. For Mario Heron, Josh Palais, I'm Dave Palais. We'll see you Friday at 1. Please like and subscribe to the show. Thanks, everybody.